What's going on, guys? MD Punk here with another NFL 2K Playmakers video. Today we're going to be looking at our Sunday game day and Sunday night football choices for Week 11 Game Changers. And hopefully we do a little better than we did on Thursday. If you want to see the disaster that ended up with me only getting 5,200 points and starting out at 688. I don't like starting below 500, but I got 2 videos on that. My choices and then the aftermath. So let's jump into Sunday. So I've got the Packers and Ravens to win here at the start. I just technically both divisional football games, so you never know really what you're going to get. The Steelers are playing better than I expected them to this year, but Lamar is having another MVP season. Derrick Henry is such a beast. It just, for me, I've got to pick them. With Packers, the Bears suck. I will not pick the Bears. Divisional football rules aside, I just cannot, in good faith and good consciousness, pick the Bears. So I went with Mahomes for quarterback. There are some really good options here. They play the Bills, which have a good defense. My second option would be Lamar. He plays the Steelers, who are also a good defense. Matt Stafford didn't have a great game. His next game is against the Patriots, who have an okay defense. The last one I'd really consider here for me would be Tua. He's playing the Raiders. They have a terrible defense, but the Dolphins are a terrible offense. So I'm decided to go with Mahomes here. He doesn't have to do anything crazy for me. He's not going to put... Lamar's not going to repeat what he did last week against the Bengals. He's just not. But I'm going with Mahomes. I feel like it's a pretty safe bet. But there's not really bad options. If you're going with Lamar, if you're going with Stafford, I understand. Even if you're risking Tua or Aaron Rodgers, I get it. I would not play Josh Allen, though. The Chiefs' defense is playing really well. I would not play Josh Allen. Derrick Henry should be your starting running back. Every week he is available to play. There's just no one better right now. There's no one better in all of football, running back wise, except for maybe Saquon, you could argue, and he was in the Thursday night slate. So without Saquon to kind of, and even then like Onyx, Derrick Henry, or Amethyst Saquon, I would still pick Onyx, Derrick Henry. It's not even, again, it's really, I'm making it sound like there's a choice. This is the choice. Derrick Henry is the choice. Next, picking Justin Jefferson for wide receiver 1. We'll talk about Garrett Wilson in a little bit. They're playing the Titans, who have, their defenses look good at times. I don't think they have anyone good enough to guard Justin Jefferson from having a big game. Olave is on IR. Keenan Allen's not a number 1 receiver. JSN, not a number 1 receiver. And I just don't trust this offense, or 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 this offense. You kind of get the idea. There's really only 2 options for receiver. It's Justin Jefferson and Garrett Wilson. And Garrett Wilson is the riskier of the 2, even though I put him in my flex spot. George Kittle, he is questionable, so keep an eye on this. I think he's expected to play. Give me 1 second to look this up real quick. I'm going to pause. Okay, yeah, so the quote I'm reading here says that head coach Kyle Shanahan said he wasn't too worried about Kittle stats for this weekend, and fantasy managers to leave him in all starting lineups, especially with the Niners and Seahawks kicking off in the late window on Sunday. And the last time they played the Seahawks, he caught 5 passes for 58 yards and 2 touchdowns back on October 10th. So George Kittle is the play. If you have him, no matter what tier you have him in, he's the play at tight end. Higbee on IR. Hawkinson's still kind of like, he had a good game. No touchdowns, but he had a good game. And Njoku, he's very, very boom or bust. So I think, again, if you have to pick someone, you should be picking George Kittle. Mark Andrews, not trustworthy. Conklin, not trustworthy. I don't trust anyone in that Atlanta offense. So, next question, will there be 4 or more teams with 100-yard receivers? I always say yes on this. I always say no on safeties. So, defensive line, Nick Bosa's questionable as well. I believe he is leaning towards playing. He's actually on my fantasy team, so I can pull this up really quickly. Nick Bosa is questionable with a hip injury. He did return to practice. I think he should play. If not, I will switch him to someone else who's there in the late window. So not a ton of great options in the late window. But again, you're not really relying on defense to get you like 1,000 points. Defense is getting you that extra bit to kind of help you move up the rankings. So linebacker wise, I went with Ivan Pace. He did really well for me last week. You really can't go wrong with Tremaine Edmonds. Not a great week last week for Hines Allen. They're playing a really good offense. Jack Campbell's a very fair play as well. I'm just going with Ivan Pace. I think he's a really good linebacker, and they're playing an offense where they should be able to probably blitz him more than they did last week. So Javon Holland is my play here because, again, the Raiders are terrible. People don't throw at Sauce. Cameron Curl's okay. Marcus Williams is okay. Kevin Byard's a fair option. But for me, I'm just going to go with Javon Holland. He's my strongest player. I mean, you can see that's my best Onyx card, and there's a 300 power difference there. So Javon Holland, that's literally all it took for me to pick him. I am picking the Saints to beat the Browns. I kind of coin flip this one. And then I do have the Jets to score first and the Colts because that Colts offense is anemic. Like I talked about before. So flex, you have a lot of options here. I went with Garrett Wilson just because a lot of my other top options were already out, or I selected them and I don't trust a lot of my other top cards strength-wise. James Cook is definitely an option. Bijan is definitely an option. The Broncos defense is a lot better than the Cowboys. No, that's not who they played last. Who did they play last? I don't remember. Cowboys was 2 weeks ago. Kamara, I don't really trust him either, unfortunately. McCaffrey still getting the swing of things. Reek's not in a good offense this year. There's a lot of good options, but I'm going with Garrett Wilson because I think that he will do well against the Colts secondary. Tyler Bass is my kicker. Pick whoever you want to be your kicker. These guys have been missing a little bit. Well, he got one blocked, but Justin Tucker's missed an extra point. Against the Chiefs, I could see the Bills kicking a lot of field goals. AJ Cole is my punter. He punted a lot and punted well in his last game, and they play Miami this week. I will see the Raiders punting some more. When the game was going to overtime, I said no, and I said there will be a blocked kick because every time I've said no to blocked kicks, there's been a blocked kick. So that is my Sunday game day lineup. So a lot of fantasy points or game changers points can get pulled in there. You also have the chance you can miss out on a lot of stuff. It's a tough slate to get right. You're really playing fantasy football with that one. So with that being said, let's jump into the Sunday night lineup. I have the Bengals to win. The Chargers defense is really good, and the Bengals defense is not. But I think that Burrow is the best quarterback that the Chargers have played, aside from Mahomes. And even then, I think Burrow is playing better football than Mahomes this year, despite his record. The Bengals are kind of in a must-win situation if they're trying to stay in the playoff race in the AFC. And I think that a desperate team can go off on a good defense still. So this will be a stacked Bengals line. We're stacking Burrow and Chase. This is a flex spot here because there's not really a lot of great options in this game for playmakers. I see there's Jamar Chase, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. Then we fall all the way down to Amethyst and Sapphire pretty quickly. So Jamar Chase, kind of the only real option here for you. There is an Onyx Justin Herbert, but he could have a good game. I just don't think the Chargers have enough good offensive weapons to really take advantage of Justin Herbert's arm this year. And I see Joe Burrow being able to put up decent numbers on them. I am going to go ahead and take the over. Yes, I know that Chargers have the number one scoring defense in football, at least as of last week. I feel like a desperate Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, like they're going to be playing angry. They're really looking for a win. And with that, they have no running game, so they're going to be throwing it a lot. The Chargers will probably blitz them a lot as a result, but I think this is going to be a good high-scoring game. Burrow will throw for over 300, and then defense here, I did go all Bengals because the 2 Chargers cards I had there are better. Joey Bosa's played okay since coming back from that hip, and Khalil Mack did not play in his last game, or maybe he just didn't get any stats at all. But no stats, not what I'm looking for. So Jermaine Pratt is my pick here. Jordan Battle is kind of the same logic here. Really though, it's Bengal or Bengal for defensive flex, because then your next best person is a Chargers amethyst safety. We're not looking for that. So Jordan Battle is the pick here. McPherson's my kicker. No Dicker the kicker for me. If the Bengals offense does struggle to get touchdowns, there is a good chance that McPherson will get a few good chances to kick. So he's kind of my fail-safe here. I think Jamar Chase will go over for 100 yards, and I think there will be field goals from both sides. So we'll definitely get the over on field goals. Okay, guys, that are my picks for Game Changers Week 11 Sunday slate. We'll talk about the Monday night slate in another video. That's a stressful one for me as a Cowboys fan, so yeah, I'm not looking forward to talking about that too much. But we'll talk about Monday night slate in the next video. Let me know down below if you disagree with any of my picks. Let me know why, and I'd love to have a conversation about it. And we'll see who comes out on top, because this is also a way for me to review my lineup before Sunday, and I'm gonna leave everything as is. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.